No, I'm about to go in. Told me that I couldn't do it, but I gotta bring it back, so they're really not with it. Let's go. Tell me where you're from, where you stay. Now I keep it lit from the coast to the bay. Peace on the right.
If you guys are looking to buy the cheapest and most reliable Madden coins on the market, head over to buymaddencoins.com. They guarantee a 5-minute delivery on all purchases and offer 24/7 customer support. Use code MAZE at checkout for 10% off. Hello and welcome back to the channel, everybody. In today's video, I'm going to be going over the lockdown defense that helped me go 25-0 in my last video. If you guys have been following along with my defensive ebook series, this is the part 3 that I never posted. I know it's late June, we're going into July, but we still got 2 months of Madden 20, whether we like it or not. So if you are still playing, you are still trying to grind weekly and get as many wins as possible, hope this video helps you out. If you have any questions, be sure to leave them in the comments down below. And before we get into the video, as always, we're going to take a look at the best and the worst comments of the day. The best comment of the day comes from Evan, who said, "Hey Mazo, where's the part 3 to this lockdown defense? You're the GOAT, by the way." Evan, I'm glad you asked. You've come to the right place. And the worst comment of the day, once again, comes from Jason Crocker, who said, "Not only can Mike Evans lay the wood on your opponent, but he can lay the wood on your girl." And if you don't understand this joke, it's kind of an inside joke from the stream, so I'll let the clip speak for itself. Getting into the defense, like I said, this is part 3 of the defensive ebook. So if you guys did follow along with parts 1 and 2, part 1 was an aggressive blitzing style defense I like to run out of 3-4 odd. Part 2 was all about run defense, so nobody should be able to run the ball on you anymore. And now part 3 is going to be a more coverage style defense. If your opponent likes to pass the ball, he's surgical with it, and you can't really blitz them that effectively because they're really spreading you out. So the formation that I'm going to be going over that this defense is based out of is big nickel over G. Now the thing about big nickel over G is that it's in every single playbook in the game. So it doesn't matter if you run a 4-3, 3-4, whatever you run, whatever scheme you run, you're going to be able to use this defense because big nickel over G is in every single playbook. Now, I play Madden Ultimate Team where you get to choose your X factors and your abilities. So that's what I'm going to be talking about when I talk about personnel. I have 3 safeties activated, okay? So all of my X factors on defense are my safeties. I don't use D lines or corners or anything like that. The abilities I run on my safeties, I got Enforcer. That's the main one. That's my favorite ability on defense. Lurker, Universal Coverage, and Acrobat. And I've noticed that these abilities kind of work best in this defense, and because you're going to see when I go over the different adjustments and stuff why that those abilities would be beneficial. So before we get into it, let's talk about who you want where on the field. Looking at your personnel, like I said, you want 3 safeties. The 3 safeties, obviously 2 of them are going to be at the top here where 37 and 27 are, and your third one is going to be in the slot where 22 is. That's what makes this a nickel defense. You got 5 DBs on the field. We're going to have 2 cornerbacks on the outside and then 3 safeties filling in the other spots. And then we have 4 D linemen and 2 linebackers on top of that. Something I like to do, I chose the Falcons because of Deion Jones, but in MUT, I have Golden Ticket Troy Polamalu. And Golden Ticket Troy Polamalu has 98 zone coverage, and that is going to be huge because I end up putting him in a middle third, and I use one of my other safeties. So it's really important if you're going to run it the way I do that you have a middle linebacker with high zone coverage. That's why I used the Falcons, because Deion Jones is probably one of the better middle linebackers in coverage in the game for regs, but in MUT, I'm going to be using Troy P. The play we're going to be going over today is cover 3 sky out of big nickel over G. This is one of the better stock plays in the game. A lot of people run this and they don't make any adjustments at all. And the D-line gets really good block sheds, the zones play really well. And overall, this is just a good one-size-fits-all play if you're just going to run it stock. So you don't really even need to make any adjustments because this play is good as it is. But when I run it, I do make adjustments and I make it even better. And you guys have probably ran into this online, but the way I run it, I call it a cover 3 invert. Now, everybody knows what a cover 2 invert is, but what is a cover 3 invert? Let me show you. So we're going to call cover 3 sky, and then on offense, I'm going to go against some type of spread look. So for instance, if you're going against something like gun doubles Y flex, not to say you would go against this very often, but a formation like this where all the receivers are spread out, you can't really blitz the house out of like 3-4 odd or anything like that, because then they're able to spread the ball out and dot you really quickly. That's when I'm going to switch to a more coverage style defense like big nickel over G, this cover 3 invert. So we're going to call gun, and we're just going to call a random play. Let's call PA deep outs. This seems like a pretty good play. So as you guys can see on the offensive side of the ball, the offense is pretty spread out. That's going to make it difficult to run anything like 3-4 odd or a heavy blitzing formation. Big dime 1-4-6 would also be good to run right here, but I like big nickel over G to play a little bit more coverage. The DBs in space are going to play a lot better than the linebackers, so that's why it's good to have DBs on the field here. And you can see all the zones except the ones right in the middle are DBs. So the curl flats and the deep blues are all going to play a lot better. You can run the play stock if you want to. Like I said, it does play pretty well stock, but a good opponent is going to tear apart stock cover 3. So let me go over the adjustments that I like to run and make it a cover 3 invert. So the first adjustment I'm going to do always is I'm going to put those 2 outside thirds in cloud flats. That might sound insane, but if you double tap triangle, you can adjust your outside corners pretty quickly. So first to square, we're gonna put him in a cloud flat, and then back to circle, put him in a cloud flat as well. So that's what we're looking at now. And then I'm gonna put the slot corners in deep thirds to replace them. So double tap triangle again. We're gonna go to the triangle DB, put him in an outside third left. That is left stick to the left. And then you see it made that adjustment there. Double tap triangle again, then X. We're gonna put him in an outside third to the right. That's right stick to the left. And so that's what we're looking like now with our defense. Like I just said in personnel, I use Troy Polamalu. From here, I like to put my middle linebacker, square is usually Troy P, in a deep third, and I'll back him up a little bit. And then I'm going to user down low with my free safety, Calvin Johnson, with Lurker. 6'5", 99 jumping, high catching with Lurker. Best user in the game. It makes it awesome. So this is what my defense is going to look like. The reason it's a cover 3 invert is because your slot cornerbacks are the ones playing the cover 3 as opposed to the outside corners. Now, this might not seem like it's significant, but the reason it is because if you have cloud flats from your DBs on the outside, your cornerbacks, they're going to play corner routes a lot better. And the only way to really get a corner route over their head is if you roll out. And if you do roll out, these thirds from the slot are going to play right over the top of those corner routes. So I'm just telling you guys right now, this is going to be one of the better ways to stop corner routes. And if somebody keeps rolling out on you, you might have to use a rush. You might have to figure out a different adjustment. But this is essentially the defense that I run in coverage, and I just user the entire middle of the field with Calvin. Usually I get 2 or 3 user picks a game with it. So we hike the ball here. You're going to see it's a play action. And like everything is pretty much boxed. There's not really much you can throw. If you tried to throw a triangle there, I mean, you guys can see everything was boxed on the field there. Obviously, I knew the play that was coming, but there wasn't much that my opponent could have done there. Now, another adjustment I like to make if you do have time to do this is if you pinch your D-line and then slant them outside, it's going to make their block sheds a lot better. I don't know exactly why it does that, but I've noticed in nickel formations when I pinch my D-line, slant them outside, their block sheds are just better. And another thing you guys are going to ask, which I always get, is how do you make all these adjustments so fast? So I'm going to show you how fast you can do this. There, I just did everything, okay? Everything is set up. It took me about 5 seconds, okay? Let me reset the play and we'll do it again. So this is the play from stock. I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, go. Done. 5 seconds. I'm telling you, boys, 5 seconds. They won't be to the huddle yet. I can get this set up every time, no matter what. It does take some work. It does take some work, but if you can get it set up, this is a much better option as opposed to running the stock cover 3 sky. So before we go over the adjustments for the final time, I'm going to go over why this defense is so much better than a stock cover 3 sky. So this is the stock cover 3 sky, and then this is our play on offense. I'm going to show you guys what the play looks like with the stock cover 3 sky. You're going to see that corner route over there is wide open. There is no way that your curl flat is getting out there. I'll show you in the instant replay. The issue with any flat from the slot is that the flat's first responsibility is always going to be pressing the slot receiver. They always do that. And it's really frustrating, and it leaves this side of the field wide open because after pressing, he's not able to get out there in time. He's not able to get out there in time, so those out routes are open, corner routes are open. All types of routes on the sideline are getting open against a look like this if you have your slot receiver responsible for the flat. Now I'm going to show you what it looks like when we run our cover 3 invert. So before we look at the replay for the cover 3 invert, once again, I'll go over the adjustments. You want to put your slot corners in deep thirds. So again, double tap triangle. We'll do the triangle receiver first, then the X receiver, and then put your outside corners in cloud flats. And that's essentially what makes it a cover 3 invert. Then from there, you can do whatever you want. But if we run the play, I'll show you why it is so much better. You can't really throw those out routes anymore. So once we take a look at this, you see this guy is responsible for deep now. He's no longer responsible for the flat. And instead of pressing, you see he takes off running, still bumps him, but he gets into his zone a lot faster. And now this guy who's already out at the sideline is responsible for covering the sideline. You can see why that makes it a lot easier. He's already out here. And good luck throwing this out route. If you threw this, this would be a pick six. And that's just a simple little example of why making it an invert versus a cover 3 sky stock is a lot more valuable. It might be a lot more steps. It might be a lot more adjustments. But once you get that down, it's muscle memory. Like I just showed you, it takes me like 5 seconds to do it. And I can do it, my eyes closed, one arm tied behind my back. Now, the last thing I'm going to talk about is why abilities are so important and the way I use them. So like I said, Troy P, 98 zone, he's going to play that middle third decently. Not going to be amazing. But what I really like is the fact that I have my other safeties in the slot here. They're going to be in the deep thirds on the outside. And that's going to enable them to play because I use universal coverage. I'm sorry, that's what the defense is going to look like. Because I use universal coverage on these slot guys, they're going to be playing the streaks, the corner route. They're going to be playing so much on the outside, and I put them in a really tough assignment, and that's why universal coverage is really important to me, especially with Enforcer. So if there's anybody near them, they're going to jar the ball out, break up that pass, and they're going to react quicker to the balls as well, and it makes his defense a hell of a lot better. So that's just my opinion. That's how I run it. Of course, you guys can run it however you like. I hope you guys enjoyed this defense. We got a lot more videos coming this week. I should be uploading like 4 or 5 videos this week, so be ready for a shitload of content. Also, if you guys want some other content, be sure to check out my other social medias. I am Mazomatic on every platform. I got Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram. I have a second YouTube channel that's Mazomatic Live. Be sure to follow that as well. If you like this video and it helped you out, be sure to leave a like too. That helps me out. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new. And I will be seeing you guys in the next one.